y'all, today I'm gonna do a video on, I wasn't sure exactly what to do a video on, and I was like trying to plan to do the video like during the morning time. Like you go to sleep, you wake up, if you're somebody with chronic illness, usually around 11 or like 10:30. So that happened and I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's sunshine, and I'm so excited because I like to film outside, because if you're chronically ill or you're in a really bad place with your illness, you can't really go outside. So I kind of tried to plan that I wanted to film outside in my yard or like, you know, a park or something like that. But I stayed laying in bed and I was just like super exhausted. You know, and then you can say like, yeah, I woke up at 11, but I kind of like stayed resting. So I rested in bed a lot today. I'm having like a slower day. So since I was having a slower day and I would have to film at nighttime with like lights in my face, and this is not like a ring light because I told you like I'm like a really new YouTuber. This is just like full on house lamps right in my face. So if you ever want to like do YouTube or anything like that, you can totally do it. This is straight up the lamps for my end tables right in my face. It's not like a ring light and all this fancy stuff. It's not true. Anyway, I decided to like put makeup on and, you know, curl my hair and do everything that makes us exhausted. And right now, like if I get short of breath kind of like talking, like I need to kind of catch my breath, it's because like I spent all the time making this situation happen. If I wasn't sick, I would look like this every day. Before I got sick, I used to look like this every day. I mean, in high heels, like out, you know, feeling the fantasy of, hello, I'm a drag queen and a princess and all that stuff. And then PH happened and all this just goes away. This is just like, every now and then you'll see me this way, or not even on a holiday, not even, let's just be honest, okay? Because like my family is gonna be like, what, you don't look like that. But whenever I get like a lot of energy, or I know I'm gonna stay up all night because of the insomnia, I try to do my makeup, or like on the weekend, like if I have enough energy. And that's because my 18-year-old daughter, she's the one that helped me curl my hair, because after the shower and blow dry, I was like, done, okay? So no, let's just be honest. I didn't even curl this hair, okay? But anyway, since we're doing the nighttime video, we could pretend we're at the club, you know, with all the look, all the makeup. Today's topic is going to be my pump that I have on, that I wear. Here it is. It's upside down because it has medicine in it. The wire goes all the way up into my chest. And this is called IV therapy. I wanted to talk about this and kind of my little story of how I got onto it and what I knew before of all that stuff. So let me just start with the fact that when I got diagnosed with PH, my pulmonologist that I had was not very familiar with the disease because of where I live. I live very close to the tip of Texas, Corpus Christi area, lower than that. And so he wasn't familiar with pulmonary hypertension, and he didn't have a lot of experience with it. So he was kind of like, okay, you have pulmonary hypertension and let's try this drug. So the first drug I got on was the oral medication Opsumit. And I took the Opsumit and I did a little bit better. But the thing was, I had no education about the disease. I had no idea that that little bit better was not that great. So my heart pressures probably hadn't even gone down or anything like that. So I stayed taking Opsumit, and since I felt better, I was like, oh, this is great. My doctor knows what he's doing. This is, you know, totally working. And I had no idea, like I said before in the previous video, that what kind of disease I was dealing with, because I was so terrified of the situation that the medication reacting, working. I was totally trusting the doctor that, you know, we knew what we were doing. He, you know, guiding me in the right direction. And that's kind of not what happened, because he didn't have as much experience as somebody that I needed. Am I still grateful and thankful for everything that he did for me? Absolutely. Like, I would be dead without that doctor had he not intervened at the time that he did. But at that moment, I was already dealing with something that was way greater than that doctor at the time. So I kept taking the Oxymet. I was doing great on it, and then I slowly started to, like, slowly meaning like a month, started to decline. Like decline meaning I couldn't walk across the mall. I couldn't walk at HEB. Like I couldn't walk at Walmart. Those things started to become I started to be able to not walk as long. I'd stay in the house and walk the house and walk the yard, but that was pretty much it. I didn't feel comfortable going to like a public area and things like that, because at the time, during that time, anytime I would over push my body or push my body further than it could go, I would faint at the time, which now I know with my education that I have now in it. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I know now that my heart pressures were still too high, even though I was taking the Oxymet. So long story short, I started to decline very rapidly post those few months that I started to decline slowly. It's kind of like I was slowly getting worse, and then it just boom, I started getting worse. Then I was like back to being bed bound, back to being wheelchair bound, and I couldn't walk to the bathroom by myself, stuff like that. So by that time I was just like, I'm going to the emergency room. So I went into the emergency room, and they took me in, and they were like, okay, change into this gown. And I was like, okay, great. And I started to faint. I fainted, and then I got up, and then I like fainted again. And so that doctor that actually prescribed the Oxymet to me intervened and placed the catheter in my chest, and he started me on Velitri, which is a IV therapy drug that is more potent than the Remodulin, I believe, something like that. So I started on the Velitri, and it saved my life. It saved my life, and I basically woke up, you know, in my 30s with a pump in my chest connected to IV bags, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I have no idea what is going on. And then it was worse because the insurance didn't approve the medications for me to go home right away. So I ended up staying in that hospital for 3 months on an IV bag in my hospital room, because it took so long for the insurance to approve all these medications, because they are crazy expensive medications and things like that. If you have health insurance or private insurance or, you know, Medicaid, Medicare, you understand the situation and the seriousness of these drugs that we need. It's not something that we can just say, oh, like, it's okay, I'll just wait a week and wait till it gets approved at home. Like, that doesn't happen. We are chained to these IV bags and things like that, and we don't get that option. We don't get that chance to like just leave, you know. During that time, I was like really like shocked. I was completely shocked, and I was completely like, I cannot believe this is happening to me. I cannot believe that I'm on this pump. And then you're kind of thinking like, okay, maybe I can get off of it. Maybe we can go back to oral drugs. Maybe, you know, you're thinking all these maybes because you're trying to get yourself mentally out of the situation that you're in. But now I've been on this pump, and my doctor was kind of like, I'm gonna refer you to San Antonio, where there's like the specialty, you know, pulmonologists that do this and all that. So during that time, we were waiting for the referral to go through, and it did very shortly after, thank God. But yes, he did intervene and place this, you know, in my chest, and it is what saved my life. And kind of cutting from my story, just going, let's, you know, directly talk about the medication. It's very, very scary to get this thing put in your chest. It's a catheter that's put inside of your chest that goes into your heart, that pumps medication 24/7. It is one of the most terrifying things that I ever thought that I would have to deal with as a person. I never thought that it would happen to me. I saw other people on it, but I was like, oh, we're just gonna keep taking these pills. You know, like I had seen somebody on the pump on YouTube, but I was on the pills at the time, so I just figured like, oh, that's not gonna happen to me. Like, you know, I don't think that I'm gonna end up with that stuff, but I did. And I've had it in my chest now for, I think it's gonna be 4 years. And I am so incredibly grateful for this medication. I'm so incredibly grateful for these machines that give us life, you know. Even through the shock, I wasn't the kind of person that was like sad about it. I felt very nervous to have it because I didn't know how to deal with this without, am I gonna get an infection? Am I gonna like, you know, pull this out in the middle of the night and bleed to death? Like I had all these crazy things running through my head, and you know, how do people live with these things like in their chest and it's not, but it doesn't belong to the body? Is my body gonna reject this thing? Like I was thinking all of the scariest things that you could possibly think, which is totally normal. And if you're going through that process, it's totally normal to feel these things, and give yourself permission to like totally feel those things 100%. But like they say, time heals all wounds. The fear will come up and you will have to deal with it, but you have the choice. You have the choice to accept your situation that you're in and how to deal with the decision of how you're gonna deal with it. You're gonna either cry and freak out and go into depression and quit on yourself and, you know, wonder, you know, I never did, but why did God do this to me? Why has this happened to me? You know, just the total road of detriment and depression. You have that option. That is totally your decision. But you also have the choice and the option to just see where you're at, take it day by day, go through the process of mourning your old life, grieving that, crying. It's okay to cry. It's okay to freak out and panic with the situation you're in, and let the panic come up. Feel that panic and cry about it. And if you have support, that's even better. If you have somebody to talk to, if you have, you know, a loved one or a spouse or a mother or father or sister or brother or somebody that you can just vent to about your sadness, please do that, because it is so helpful. Once you get it out, you, like I was saying before, you have the choice which road you're gonna take. Okay, now this is what I'm in. Now this is what I'm dealing with. Let me try to find other people that are in the situation that I'm in. Let me try to find other scenarios that I can, sorry, I gotta catch my breath. Other scenarios that can help me with my mindset right now, you know. And I found, cutting back to myself, I found that when I first got the pump in, I was like, okay, Erica, you know, you're not the only person in the planet that this is happening to. Because if it was, there wouldn't be a machine to be able to keep you alive, you know? So I was like, let me go to the nearest social media that I could find to try to find people like me, because PH is so rare. So I went to Instagram because I don't know why I didn't think of Facebook, but I just totally went to Instagram first because I just figured, you know, there's people from all over the world on these social media platforms. And I started to find people that had the pump, that have gone through worse situations than me. And it just brought me so much comfort. People that were better off than I was, people that were sicker than I was, people that are going through the double lung transplant because of PH. And it just brought me so much hope, you know. And I was like, if these people can do it, so can I. And I made the choice in that moment. I chose, I want to live. I want to be happy with where I'm at, because negativity is not going to help me in any form or fashion. So I made the decision at that point, whatever you bring me, I will receive, you know. And so the medications that I transferred to the San Antonio hospital and met my new pulmonologist, and he was amazing. He instantly changed my drugs that I was on, because I was just on the Opsament. He threw away that and put me on Adcirca, and he put me on Lateris, and he switched my IV medication from Velitri to Remodulin and started to really pump those drugs inside of my body. And I was so sick. I was puking and had headache, and I was so in pain, but my body was responding in a positive way. And I did not care how painful it was. to go through those, you know, transition those drugs, because my body was responding, and I was so grateful for that. So getting back to the pump, I have had this pump in my chest and I have not had it out since it was placed in my chest. And I am so thankful and I'm so grateful every day for these medicines, because it allows me to continue to be a mom, a daughter, a wife, you know, a part of like the PH community. It allows me life, you know. And I do still have my days where I'm like, I can't stand this thing, I want to take it out. I just want to jump in the shower like a normal person and wash my hair and jump out and not have to be patching this thing up. And you know, I have those days, and I have those days where people are, my kids are splashing around in the pool and my husband's in the pool, and I'm sitting on the outside with my feet in, and I'm wishing that it wasn't me. I have those days, but when I'm in that moment, I always just choose to go to a place of gratitude instantly. I never allow my body to feel sorry for myself, because if I do that, I'm talking about myself personally, it's very easily that I can slip into the whole, oh, woe is me, you know, this is happening to me, like, and just bring down everybody around you, because we have to be very conscious of how we act and behave, because you can bring down everybody around you. And all of these people outside that are trying to support you, that are trying to make you feel whole, that are trying to make you feel loved, we can accidentally, not thinking, make them feel bad with how we act and behave. And so I always make sure that when those feelings start to come up, I either, if it's so strong that like I have to take a moment, I will just like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, and then I go to the bathroom and I, you know, get yourself in the mirror and you get a hold of yourself and you have that moment, and then you, like I tell my kids, you know, you change your face and, you know, get it together, you know. So that's how I do if I really need the moment. But usually when the thoughts come up of, you know, sadness or negativity, I just choose to go back to gratitude. Going back to the place of gratitude is always what works for me. This is just my opinion. This is just my life, you know, story and what I'm trying to share with you guys. But, and everybody's feelings are different, and everybody handles their feelings different. And no, I'm not saying, you know, to do things this way. I'm saying what works for me. I just go to a place of gratitude and say, you know, thank you for the universe bringing me these medications so that I could live, because every day that I have on these medications is a borrowed day that I should not be alive. And I know that. I truly, deeply know that. And so the medications can sometimes become very burdensome, you know, because we take them every single day to stay alive, and it can really drag you down. But when you really just step back from the sadness of it, and we're humans, you know, it's going to come up, that sadness, but when you step back from it and just take a deep breath and, like, you know, understand that you come from a place of gratitude, everything works out, you know. So then that's how I feel about my pump. I've been on Remodulin for a long time. I'm on a kind of high dose of Remodulin, 72 nanograms of Remodulin is what I'm on, and I live a happy life. I live very comfortably. I don't, you know, jog, and I don't do exercises, but I'm able to have life because of my pump, and so I will always be grateful and thankful for it. Getting back to the very beginning of it, yes, is it scary? Absolutely. It's terrifying. You know, this thing in my chest right here, my husband changes it for me once a week, and it gets cleaned, and, you know, we put the bandage back on it and stuff like that. So it's constantly covered. It's constantly on you, in the shower, asleep, waking up, going to the store, hanging out. I carry mine in a fanny pack. This is my Incredibles fanny pack. I have tons of fanny packs because I'm like a fanny pack queen now, and I carry mine on my hip in a fanny pack. You know, wearing dresses is extremely difficult, so I'm always like, two-piece outfits for pump people like myself. But hey, not wearing a dress is a small price to pay for life. You know what I mean? And if you want to wear a dress, there's ways to put it on there. It's like not crazy, like you can never wear a dress, but it's hard. It's hard to do stuff like that. The other thing I kind of wanted to talk about is infection. Like, do you get infection all the time? Like, you have a foreign object in your body. Yes, I do have a foreign object in my body, but I take really good care of it. Like I said, I don't go in pools and get wet, and you know, anytime you're sweating outside, you need to make sure and clean it and go through the whole process of everything that you need to do to keep it up, because like, this is another part of your body. Just like you have your heart, just like you have your stomach, you also now have your pump. And this is like another organ that you need to survive when you have a pump. But now that I've had it for a long time, it's not scary. It's my best friend. I call it my snail shell because I carry it like a little snail, and I move like a snail because I move really slow now, and I'm like, you know, super like slow and stuff. But I love it. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful to have it, and I'm not embarrassed of it. I'm not embarrassed to have this machine on me. You know, my girlfriends, when we get together and we go to dinner, like, I go and I have a great time. When my husband wants to go have a drink at the bar, I wear my fanny pack, I go, I sit, I have, you know, a virgin daiquiri, or if I want to have a beer that day. I'm not a drinker, but I will drink every now and then because I like to really try to take care of my body. But I go with, and I take my fanny pack, and I don't feel ashamed of myself, you know? If other people are like, oh my gosh, what's that? What are you wearing? What is that? They're probably more curious than anything else, than, you know, aggressively rude, trying to call you ugly or something. But you will have your rude people that are like, what is that? Why are you wearing a fanny pack? The 80s called, they want their fanny pack back, you know? And it's like, you will have your rude people, but I always make the choice, like I said, because you can make the choice which road you want to take. I always make the choice, oh, I have pH, you know, I need this pump to live, this is what it is, show them the medicine. And when people see the intenseness of the situation, they're usually like, oh, I'm sorry, or continue to be assholes, you know what I mean? You're gonna deal with both people in this world, but, you know, but I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not, you know, burdened by it. I see it as a part of myself now. This is very much who I am. I'm a woman, I'm a mom that has pH, and this is what I deal with, you know? And if they're gonna make fun of me, or, you know, not wanna hang out with me or whatever, that is their problem. That is not my problem anymore. My problem is focusing on myself and what I think of myself. And I kind of like myself, so, you know, I have scars on my neck from the heart catheterizations that we need for pH. Other PHers have a lot more scars. Other people that are dealing with chronic illness have way more scars than I do. And every scar on your body is just, you know, it's a marking of where have you been, what you've been through, you know? And I see them, I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of what I've been through, what my body's been through, and where I'm at, you know? And no, I can't, you know, push a heavy cart of groceries, and no, I can't walk the Grand Canyon and stuff like that, but I'm still proud of myself, you know, because I still feel that I have purpose. Even if my purpose is just speaking to my kids on a daily basis, even if my purpose is just feeding my dog, that's still purpose for me, and that's still enough for me, and it should be enough for you. If you're ever feeling down, if you're ever just, you know, needing companionship, you know, come to one of my videos. Hopefully I can help you. If you have any videos that you want me to make, you know, speak on, or just to give advice to, put them down in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Send it around to other people or your friends with pH. I'm just so grateful to be a part of our pH community, and I hope I bring you joy. If you're hearing this, if you're watching this, it was not a coincidence. There is no such thing as coincidence. I am here to bring you hope as your stories bring me hope. All the stories from my pH friends that I see on Facebook now, Instagram now, bring me inspiration and hope. Every time I see a story of hey, me and my kids went to HEB, hey, me and my kids went to go eat out, you know, for ice cream, or hey, today I walked my 6-minute walk, they bring me inspiration. And I'm hoping to bring you guys inspiration through my videos. But excuse me, I'm trying to catch my breath. But yes, if you're ever lonely or needing companionship, hopefully I'll make more videos soon. And sorry I'm not an editor, but I'm Erica, your PH friend from Texas. Bye.